Welcome to the Psychology of True Crime with me, RC. Chad Daybell built an entire identity on the edge of death. He claimed angels spoke to him, that God chose him, that only he could separate the light from the dark. But today, the only label that matters is death row inmate. And from his cell, the letters he writes prove one thing. He hasn't left a fantasy, even when reality has led him to the real death experience. Chad's near death experiences didn't humble him, they elevated him. Every brush with danger became a premonition in his own mythology. A normal person sees coincidence, Chad saw coronation. From a clinical point of view, when fantasy feels better than reality, the mind chooses the fantasy and built a kingdom there. And in Chad's case, he was a prophet who traveled through portals. His writings still portray himself as a leader, a martyr, a chosen warrior, a victim of persecution. Not once do we see remorse for Tammy, JJ, or Tylee. Instead, we hear words such as, the truth will come out, and he's being attacked by dark forces, and that the world just doesn't understand his mission. This is not spirituality, it's pure delusion as armor. In clinical terms, narcissistic injury happens when accountability threatens a fragile ego. The mind rewrites the story to keep the ego alive. Chad led his own hierarchy, and Lori was his most valuable recruit. Together, they turned faith into a death sentence for the people in their way. And just because Chad Daybell was a member of the LDS Church, that doesn't make the church bad. People from all faiths have committed terrible acts, but that reflects on the individual, not the religion. The man obsessed with the afterlife has nothing left but time and a countdown he cannot manipulate. This is the cruel irony. He spent years describing what death looks like, and now he awaits to meet it. And the letters? They show the cracks. Less confidence, more desperation, a creeping fear he cannot pray away. No more portals to jump in and out of. For the first time ever, there's no audience to clap for him. Chad believed he could rewrite heaven's rules. But the justice system isn't interested in his visions, just his verifiable choices. The dangerous fantasy that justified his crimes has left him with only one prophecy left. The author, who believed he was immortal, is now counting his final mortal days. Thank you for watching. Subscribe as I analyze the minds behind the worst realities, not to glorify them, but to expose the psychology that destroys lives. I'll see you on the next one.